Pool after Wrestling. What is going on? Big things coming out of NXT tonight. I am here, Chris. I am not at MJH WrestlePool. I am at Chris Bear _ WrestlePool. Bear here for WrestlePool. My partner in crime, my esteemed colleague, my person who lives in the other room is here as well. But guess what? I'm in control. So I don't have to bring him on if I don't want to. He can just sit there. No, I'm not going to do that. Here he is. Hey, Michael the Hosier.
I hope. Yeah, I can't hear you, but what's going on, everyone? Hosier here.
I got you loud and clear. You can't hear me.
I think Bear is talking to all of you, but we are live here. I believe we are on X, YouTube, and Twitch. And I hope to be able to hear him.
Technical difficulties happening on the fly here.
It's funny because the rooms, I can hear him through the wall, but I don't hear him here.
Are your headphones plugged in?
Let me see
here. Are your headphones plugged in? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? WrestlePool after Wrestling.
Nope, nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Nothing, nada. Maybe I don't know if it's me on my end that's causing you
technical difficulties, folks. Do I need headphones? Should I get headphones?
Yes, plug your headphones in. Let's see if that helps. Meanwhile, while Mr. Hosier is talking through working through headphones, welcome to WrestlePool after Wrestling. I am Bear. I'm excited to chat about an interesting roadblock. Rather, in my opinion, what was overall what I thought was an underwhelming roadblock. I had higher hopes for roadblock tonight. I thought it was going to be something, something a lot more than what it was. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see if we bring Mike back on. Nope, still can't hear me. Nope, nothing.
Check. All right, let's see here.
Make sure you got the right output selected.
Nope, nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Hopefully the people can hear me. I don't know if the people can hear me, but if the people are listening, hopefully you can hear me. Because I've been talking this whole time and apparently nobody can hear me. I don't know what to okay. Try you plugged your headphones into your computer, right? Okay. We will be back in 1 minute, folks. I'm gonna hit a little bit of a. Let's see, what do I got here? Do I have a? We'll be. Are your headphones? Where are your headphones plugged in? And it's not coming through.
We're live here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's all the same setup as before. That's the one I always use.
That's the one you always use?
Yeah.
Headphone? Try headphone.
I was never there before. Yeah, now it works.
Okay, we might be back. Are we back? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? There we go.
I can hear you. Yep. All right, we're back. That's what happens when you run a live show. Like, things just come up and, things happen. So anyway, talking about Roadblock. We don't need to do that for live. This is fun. If anybody's watching, you're getting quite a show. Talking about NXT Roadblock, which, Mike, I said for me was underwhelming. Like, we walked out of the room after watching Roadblock, and it was just like, I thought it was going to be much more than what it was. It's funny, we talked last night after Raw. That Raw was kind of a meh Raw because the wrestling just wasn't there. Kind of again tonight, the same thing. I thought, like, the wrestling just wasn't there. Like, the matches just weren't living up to what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. You can't have too many of these where the wrestling takes a back seat. We talked about it last night. The best part of the entire night, first of all, having Tony D'Angelo win to me was a surprise, but Trick Williams coming back. And if you do a 2-hour show and it's just another NXT, then don't give it a name and don't have the best part of a key show be a return of someone. Need more than that as we head into the biggest weekend of the year. So that's 2 shows in a row, 3 shows in a row where wrestling has taken a back seat. And that is definitely never a good thing on a pro wrestling company where wrestling starts to take a back seat to promos, backstage segments, injuries, and everything else.
I'm really hoping that maybe what we're doing here is we're kind of getting these out of our system. We have 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks?
4.
Or 4 weeks. 4 weeks to WrestleMania. So we got 4 weeks to WrestleMania. So maybe we're just getting these out of the way, like get these ones done and out of the way and gone. And this way we don't have to deal with them anymore. But let's go through it. So started the night, opening it up with what I actually was really excited for in a cage match between Joe Gacy and Dijak, especially with what they had done at Vengeance Day. Like, their Vengeance Day match was great. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. But they kind of came out tonight, and like I said to you, like, it was the same match. Like, I felt like there was one really cool little gimmick spot with the box and the boxing glove coming out of the box. Like,
hit him in the penis.
Yeah, exactly. There's a strategy for you. Hit him in the penis, kid. So, but like, other than that, like, just not what I was hoping for in that match. Maybe my expectations were too high. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It was a gimmick match. They put a bunch of toys in a cage. We went around, we used all the toys, and then Dijak got another win. And I said to you right after it was over, I'm like, can we please give Joe Gacy a big win here? Like, it felt like if he was going to win a match in this feud, this would be his kind of match.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And hopefully, I do wonder this, when they started this match, the idea was like, this has to be the definitive, the end of it. And I wonder if this isn't actually the end of it. I wonder if these two, maybe they're going to stand and deliver one more time, and that's where we're going to give Joe Gacy his win, and then we could launch Joe Gacy into the next thing. But after that, I have to pull up the card, but I don't know if you remember what was next after that. I forget.
Was it the tag titles?
Yes, after that we did have the tag titles. Chase U versus the Wolf Dogs. Got that dog in them. Big surprise for me in the Wolf Dogs, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker keeping the titles, because in my opinion, I honestly thought that this was, with Braun Breaker going to the main roster, and the fact that he went to SmackDown on Friday and didn't even bring the NXT tag team title with him. Like, Braun, what are you doing? So I really thought that this was the end of it, but Wolf Dogs getting the win in a again, just kind of in an okay, like cool, like good, like okay, good match. Just kind of keep pushing forward.
Yeah, it felt like it was more about Thea Hale's theatrics after the match more than it was the tag title match. And I guess I could see them keeping him till Stand and Deliver, or maybe they're going to keep him longer and they're just going to have Braun Breaker pull double duty for now.
Right.
But still amazed at how fast Braun Breaker runs the ropes, because now Booker T said I think he ran 35 miles an hour tonight. So
Oh yeah, just the fastest man running the ropes, fastest man on the planet running the ropes.
But decent match, but it was more about Thea Hale and the stuff going on within Chase U rather than an actual tag title match. So
right,
is what it is.
Yeah, and then we moved on to one that I was at first. I thought I was upset about missing it, but I ran downstairs to make myself my dinner and missed this one, but it was short lived. We went to Shawn Spears versus Uriah Connors. I actually don't know who that is. Sorry, essence, Uriah, if you're watching.
A squash match followed by a promo, followed by a Ridge Holland run-in. So use Roadblock to set up a match for next Tuesday.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, cool. Like, to me, you're using to me, that's a waste of a spot, right? Because you're using.
There was a lot of that tonight.
This is a named NXT, right? Like, if this is just a normal NXT Tuesday, cool. You're going to use that spot for that. Cool.
100% correct.
But this is a named show, so we need to fill the spots with things that are actually going to move the needle forward and keep me entertained for 2 hours overwhelmingly. So, so no reason to do that tonight, to set up the map. What you did last week with Ridge Holland and Shawn Spears could have set up the match for next week, or just have that match on Roadblock.
There's a novel concept. Have a good wrestling match.
Have a good wrestling match, folks. Like, just put on good wrestling and we'll all be happy. My goodness. So then we went to the women's championship, Kabuki Warrior tag team championships, Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. Kabuki Warriors getting the win. And I'm gonna say this. I thought this during the match, and I didn't say it to you, but now I'm really upset that they didn't do it. Again, named show, and you don't have a women's title defense. What are we doing? Like, this was a normal. Why are we doing? Let Lyra defend the title on your named show. I understand she's got to go defend it for Stand and Deliver. But don't name the show Roadblock. So that was my reaction to this. Like, it was an okay match. Like, no problem with the match. It's Kabuki Warriors. It's Lyra. Tatum Paxley hasn't been there much, but she's doing really well. I liked what I saw from her in the ring, but there's no reason for it.
Again, like the main event, Tony D winning good, but this was about Roxanne attacking Lyra at the end of the match. They just had to get Lyra in the ring. They didn't want to have her defend the title. Fine. Yeah. They could have had a number one contenders match. They could have had something setting up Stand and Deliver for the women's title like they did with Tony D and Carmelo. But this was about Roxanne attacking Lyra after the match. With no one, there was no shot that those two were going to win the women's tag titles off the Kabuki Warriors at any point in the near future or at all on NXT. But
and I said to you while we were watching, and I guess like pipe dream, whatever, I was like, what if Bayley comes in and costs the Kabuki Warriors here? I was like, it doesn't make sense. Why are we gonna why would we let Lyra and Tatum carry the women's titles? Especially what we talked about last night. Like, if if they did that, then the women's tag titles are not getting defended on WrestleMania, because there would be no reason to bring Tatum and Lyra to WrestleMania to defend those titles, right? So good they didn't do that, because if they did, but at the same time, I might have been like, okay, like that was a bigger thing than, but good match, but whatever. After that, we move on to Blair Davenport versus Fallon Henley, which good match, like happy
Yeah.
with it. Like it was a good match, like but had nothing to do with the rest of the night. It was just
I
all of
guess,
a
to
sudden.
bring what's her name back, who you showed me her finishing move, and that might be the single greatest finishing move I've seen from a woman wrestler. Like that thing's incredible.
Yeah. Sol
You want to
Ruca
try to
comes back
explain
out of
it
the crowd.
because
Yeah, so Sol Ruca, let's see if I can find. Maybe I can find it. Sol Ruca comes back tonight and cost Blair Davenport the win there. But if you've never seen Sol Ruca's finisher, I don't even know what it's called. But it's a cutter. Like at the end of the day, it is a cutter. Like it is just, it's like the Cody cutter. It's any like a stunner or whatever. It's just the way she delivers it. So let's see if I can share my screen here, and we'll take a look at Sol Ruca just destroying somebody here.
It's phenomenal.
Poor Alba Fire. Poor Alba Fire is about to just get shown being destroyed. So let's put this up on screen. All right, so this is from 2023, but it's her same finish that she's had.
A matchup like this, a win over.
You see, is Isla Dawn, and certainly has changed the complexion of the Soul Snatcher.
Oh, that's what it's called, the Soul Snatcher.
and that's what it does. It snatches souls.
Like 100%.
Crazy move.
The cool thing is it can be thrown pretty much. It can kind of be like the RKO, just kind of be out of nowhere. And so
you could probably do that standing too, like throw off the rope, stand, and just time it to be able to do that as well. That's a sick move, man.
It is sick, and it looks great. She's a former gymnast or something like that. Like that's why, like she just has. Her in-ring ability is awesome. I love Sol. I'm glad she's back. And I'm just excited to see where that goes. But like that match was to get Sol Ruca back and nothing else. Then for the first time ever, we get to see William Regal in the ring with his son, Charlie Dempsey, and Charlie pulling no punches. Telling his dad that he could go, that he's going to defend that cup better than William Regal ever could. And listen, folks, my opinion is you don't talk to William Regal that way.
No, absolutely not.
I think Vic Joseph even said, "Hey, Charlie Dempsey's not too old to get put over Mr. Regal's knee," and I can see that possibly coming at some point, but. You know, the no quarter catch crew that Charlie Dempsey is a part of. Interesting little faction, but William Regal kind of coming out to be like, defend that Heritage Cup with honor. And so, you know, moving forward, we'll kind of see if they do or they don't. But it was good. What I think what we all got out of that was it was good to see William Regal back on WWE TV.
I was hoping, and I know it's completely off topic, but I wanted him to come out and just scream "War Games" and then just walk away.
Just War Game. Well, hopefully,
that's all.
Hopefully, we're gonna get it. But at the end of the night, at the end of the day, at the end of the night, whatever. The point of Roadblock tonight was the main event, deciding who Ilya Dragunov's opponent is going to be at Stand and Deliver. And you were pretty surprised by this.
The win, yes, absolutely.
You were pretty surprised that I was pretty surprised as well. I get why we did this because Carmelo's match is not against Ilya at Stand and Deliver, and it never should be, right? We needed Tony to step in there, but And to take that match and go to Stand and Deliver and face Ilya. And I actually think they're going to have a great match. I mean, anybody could probably have a really good match with Ilya, but I think they're going to have a really great match, Ilya and Tony. But the big thing was the end of that match, Trick Williams making his return after Carmelo's just devastation of him at Vengeance Day. Do you think it takes anything away from Tony tonight that return happened after winning that?
Yes, because it, Tony didn't get his chance. I mean, to me, you end Roadblock with Tony and Ilya kind of having a stare down.
Right.
As we get ready for, their march or road to Stand and Deliver, and
Yeah.
it not be about the person who lost the match. And yes, Trick coming back is the biggest thing they could have done tonight. Because if you remember, post Vengeance Day, I came on here and I thought it was going to be Carmelo and Ilya at Roadblock, and that Carmelo was winning the title, and then Trick would come back. Never really expected Ilya to keep the belt through Stand and Deliver. I thought the match was going to be Trick beating Mello for the belt at Stand and Deliver, because I'm assuming that Carmelo is also going to SmackDown with Braun Breaker post WrestleMania. But now I'm not so sure, because I don't think Tony D has a real chance to win at Stand and Deliver. I think Ilya's keeping that belt. So I'm going to assume that the winner or so, if Trick beats Mello, and then that's it. But Trick goes on to face Ilya one-on-one for the title at whatever's after Stand and Deliver. So this has kind of not gone the way I thought it was going to go, because, again, thinking that Roadblock would be something more than just a regular Tuesday night, I thought they would set up that big match. But yeah, it definitely took away from Tony D, because it should have ended with Tony D standing tall and then Ilya coming out in the aisleway or something. And then now we know the main event, which is that the main event for Stand and Deliver? Is the title match the main event, or is Mello Trick the main event at Stand and Deliver?
Listen, the title match should be the main. If they don't make the title match the main event at Stand and Deliver, then it's just WrestleMania.
It's about the story, Bear. It's about the story.
Listen, I'm going to throw a curveball here at you, just because maybe nobody's thinking this, or maybe there are people thinking this, but I'm going to put this one out in the ethos. Kind of piggybacking off of what you just said. Here's my opinion. Tony D'Angelo defeats Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver for the title, because Ilya, Trick, Carmelo, Braun, who we already know is gone, are all going to main roster. It is time. It is the right time for all of them to go. They are all superstars 1,000% in the making. I'm not saying that they're going to the main roster, that they are going to be the top guys on the main roster, but let's move Trick and Mello and Ilya and Braun up to the main roster, because then if you look at that kind of mid-card roster depth, you're talking those four plus Dom Mysterio, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Santos Escobar, Angel Garza, Humberto, and the list could go on. Like, there is just this insane depth. Because when I think about the top guys, right, you're talking the Codys and the Romans and the Seths, and even the Gunthers and the Drews and Sammy and KO at the top of the roster. Let's put them all up there. They've all been carrying shows, and it's kind of like the mid-card guys have been doing what they can, and they've been doing a great job. I'm not saying that they need the help in doing what they can and doing what they've been doing, but what I'm saying is they have the help to make that mid-card that much better. And I think it starts with taking that belt off Ilya and letting him go, because I'm sure the draft will be right around. So I think Tony D'Angelo, at the end of the day, actually beats Ilya at Stand and Deliver. Trick and Carmelo have their thing, and then two of them are going to SmackDown and two of them are going to Raw. Ilya and Trick on Raw, and then Carmelo and Braun on SmackDown, tearing it up with the legs of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller and Dom Mysterio. And this is about to get, these main rosters are about to get some huge depth, in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Trick get a world title run first. And NXT, he'll lose, then he'll come back. Ilya will come back for a rematch if he's on the main roster, but he'll stay through losing the rematch. Maybe he'll start to pull double duty. But no, I think Ilya wins, Stand and Deliver. I think Trick wins, and I think Trick takes the belt from Ilya. And then I do think Ilya goes on to the main roster. What's after Stand and Deliver? I don't know.
I don't think
I'm
until
not sure.
June. I don't think they have. I think the next one's in June. I don't know what it's called, but.
And now, if they announce the draft somewhere in there, I can see all those 4 being drafted, but finishing what they need to finish in NXT. Because we've said, I think it was post Vengeance Day, we were like, Trick gets the belt, and then who beats Trick for the belt? Obafemi. It just kind of, you can kind of see, the progression of where some of these athletes are going. But if all 4 of them went up and 2 of them went, listen, Ilya and Gunther to start off Ilya's run on Raw would be lights out perfection to me.
Yeah.
But I want to see a little bit more Trick in NXT. So overall, we are disappointed in tonight.
We are.
So hopefully we get better on Friday, but I fear what Friday is going to look like.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like,
Friday's going to be 1 2-hour promo.
Right. That's it. It's going to be 1 2-hour promo, and some people in the bloodline need to get their timing together. So, so yeah, I'm afraid of a 2-hour promo and then no wrestling. And if there is no wrestling, then listen, if it's a 2-hour promo, I'm not watching WrestleMania. How about that? There you go, WWE. You lost me for WrestleMania.
That's going to be kind of hard for you. That might be kind of hard for you.
That might be kind of hard for me, but
that might be kind of hard for you, my friend.
No WrestleMania for me if it's a 2-hour promo. WWE, just do the right thing. Just like, okay.
Good wrestling. Everyone will be happy. All right, so we're going to be live again tomorrow night. We have Ospreay's debut wrestling match on Dynamite. I think it's his debut match versus Kyle Fletcher, which should be a banger. Yep. And then Thursday, we're either putting out recorded content and we might have a day off. And then Friday night, we're back with our post SmackDown review. So there's a lot coming down the pike. Yeah. And that's it. I'm good.
I'm good. That is Hosier. This is Bear. We are WrestlePool. Live on all the things. Find us in all the places. Your X's, your Twitches, your Instagrams, all the things. Remember, come right here, YouTube, Twitch, X for live content. Just about every single night. Every single night there's wrestling. There's WrestlePool after wrestling. So come here, check us out. Thank you for watching. And again, this is WrestlePool for life.